Hey there, so today is thinning carrots day. I missed last week for my garden tour because we were on holidays, and so today I'm playing catch up. I just thinned some carrots, so they're nice. This is my first red jalapeno. I missed one in the greenhouse, and so I was really excited to see a red jalapeno. I've never actually successfully done that because we have such a short season here. And I just pulled my garlic because I'm getting ready to do dill pickles, and I started to get cutworms in my garlic, so it was ready. It's really tiny, but that's today's harvest so far, and so I'm really happy with it because a little bit every day helps, especially after our garden was wiped out from a hailstorm. So I'll show you some of the damage is still visible and such, but it's starting to perk up and look pretty again. So I'm very excited to have that. This little sunflower is a volunteer. It's definitely feeling much better. The grasses look better. So yeah, I'm happy. This little plot looks so good. Lots of little volunteer sunflowers everywhere. I haven't been weeding the gravel. I've been focused on this stuff here, but they're so cute. I love sunflower. Busy bee. There's just all kinds of different varieties. And these little horrible, horrible things. I don't like grasshoppers at all. How sweet are these? All right. I noticed that some of the glads are starting to get ready. These are the purple. I think they're the Frilly Willies, which is super stoked to see those in all their glory, hopefully soon. Dahlias are starting to head up, which makes me really happy. In my previous videos that I've done with the hail that come through here, the carrots really took a beating. And actually, I just went through and I thinned them, and they're actually looking okay. See if I can... They're starting to, I just thinned them down so we can get some nice eating sized ones for the fall for lunches. So they're doing okay. I did catch the chickens in here, so that didn't help matters, but I really like growing them in this trough. I just need the trough to be in a better location where they get more sun. Our snacker garden that I planted early in the spring, it's done really well. The kids have been snacking out of here. I just actually come in and thinned the carrots, weeded it. I pulled out the peas because they were spent. And so I'm hoping to get some cucumbers. These guys were sort of protected from the weeds. Thank goodness I didn't weed these when I was planning to, because they survived the storm. So we might get a few. I noticed there's a little baby carrot here. So the carrots are a nice size. And there's still quite a few in here, so I'm really happy with that. And the asparagus is doing well. We've been eating lots of fresh raspberries. They've been doing quite well, even though the plants themselves are small. They've been producing just the right amount for a little snack when the kids are in the pool. The melon experiment in this pool planter was a fail simply because the hail literally broke off everything. So, but otherwise, I really like the look of the fountain grass, aside from the fact that it's full of weeds and there's lots of hail damage. I'm really happy with the way it looks. However, we've decided that this year will be the last year for the pool. We're pulling out the pool, and this is going to be more garden space for food production. The glads have been doing really well in the pots, and this was enabling me to start them very, very early. Some of them are already spent. These were opened before we went on holidays, so you can see they need some deadheading. But I had harvested some of these for cut flowers already. They do really well in the pots for cut flowers or to be able to start them super early in the spring in the greenhouse and then move them out so they have a bit more season to produce a little bit earlier. Because otherwise, if I would have started them when they're recommended, they would be just blooming when we get our first light frost. So up here in zone 2, this is working well for me so far. I really love this pot. It's so gorgeous. Just beautiful colors. I think I showed you a preview of that already. I just planted some bulbs here this like probably a month ago, and they just started to come up a month and a half ago, I guess it was. So these are daffodils, and they're so gorgeous. I'm really in love with them. The chickens got in here and were scratching, but I had a bunch of grasshoppers that they needed to get rid of. I am really excited to see that my hydrangea decided it's going to produce some flowers this year, so that made me really happy. So yeah, I'll move on to the garden. The peppers are still recovering. I see there's a few flowers coming up, but they are just they're just pushing new growth after the hail really did some damage to them and knocked off all of the little peppers that were started and knocked off all the flowers. So they got hit with that hail twice. So I don't know if I'm gonna get anything because I'm running really low on days for production. I might get some green peppers, maybe some little ones, but I doubt it. There's just not much here. So the filler did make a good comeback. This is an amaranth, Greentails amaranth, and it did make a nice comeback for filler plant. So I will be cutting some of this for cut flowers and either using it or providing it to florists. So we'll see how. I mean, it's come back really good. I cut it right down and it really flushed back in, so that made me happy. Same with this amaranth here, and I noticed it is getting ate again by the grasshoppers, but it's starting to push the little flowery things. So I'm going to start harvesting this as well, even if they're little, for filler, and hopefully salvage something from it. The straw flowers did amazing through all of this. They're looking great. I did cut a bunch, so there's not very much here, but the colors of these are so pretty. I'm really loving it. But they're really super sweet. I'm loving them. What are you guys doing in here? You better be catching hoppers. Stuck in a tomato cage? What are you doing? Get out. Out. Hey, you friggin' asshole. The zinnias are starting, but all of the zinnias so far have had grasshopper damage, so I'm not very excited for that. And they're very short, but oh gosh, they are so pretty. They're so pretty. How cute is that one? I adore zinnias. They're so awesome. But yeah, the grasshoppers really like them too. Colors are beautiful. I think this one's probably my favorite. The colors, I just love them. I wish they would have done better for me, but at least I get a little bit. I'll be able to use these personally in some personal arrangements likely, but I'm very happy to see they're actually growing. Oh, we got some drama. Albie being mean to Tom Tom. Can you two be nice? Like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, please. Time out. I haven't been too fussy about the chickens eating these tomatoes on the trellis because a lot of them are hail damaged. This one, you just seen the rooster was like going to town on it and stuff. The tomatoes are still good, but I'm going to definitely have to do something so that the chickens are not in here again. But these guys are not really producing. They're starting to put growth on, so that made me hopeful. I'm hoping to get another small flush of tomatoes off of these guys so I can provide some, but it's not looking hopeful. And then we started to get some cracking just simply because it just started to rain, and it rained and rained and rained, and we got lots of moisture, but the hail damage is just really bad on them. And these guys, I'm just waiting for them to ripen. I've been picking out of here and just kind of going through, taking them in, and slowly just small batch processing them for the freezer to make sauce and such. But yeah, they're definitely, like, these guys are just loaded. These are the Beaver Lodge variety. The plants themselves are done. Like, they're only just gonna ripen. And oh, did you find a hiding spot, Tom Tom? Tom Tom, what are you doing? Is that your little hobbit house? Hi, baby. Hey, boy. Hey, hey, hey. Hi. Hi, babies. So yeah, these are definitely, they're starting to turn. They always produce some really nice sized tomatoes, and then they're so meaty. But yeah, all tomatoes. That's a lot of tomatoes, but still not enough for the market garden that I'm trying to service. So again, this year was a bust, but what do you do? Those naughty chickens. Busted. Naughty, naughty chickens. Yeah, these guys are asters, not doing nothing really. So, well, this one's pretty, but it's tiny. So, chickens everywhere. Go get the grasshoppers. Go, go, go. Get the grasshoppers. Get them. Get them. Go get them. Get them. Get the grasshoppers. Get them. I have it rototilled in between the rows. I just been hand picking. Go on. Shoo. Shoo. So these are the purple beans. They're starting, the pole beans are starting to produce little flowers, but the bush variety of the purple beans, they're going crazy. Oh, I noticed there's a couple here of these ones, the trellising ones. These guys are loaded. These are the bush beans. I gotta harvest these today. I harvested beans yesterday, and I missed a whole bunch of these purple ones. It's hard to show you. I need to be on the other side. Oh, here's a bunch. There's like lots, but you can see the hail damage, but it just started to flush. They grew so fast. They're really nice beans. So I'm very excited. I'm gonna get those harvested today. The squash and the zucchini made a really good comeback. Those pumpkins are doing very well. These pumpkins are doing great. And these squash plants, or the zucchini plants, they have been, like, what I'm having issues with is grasshoppers and rabbits. Now, we discovered on our way home from holidays that we have rabbits, and we've never dealt with rabbits before. My dog usually chases everything out, but she decides that they're friends. So yeah, plans have changed now with our zucchinis. So the corn and everything is doing really well. I've been trying to get caught up with my weeding, hand weeding and such. But these are the Pro Cut sunflowers. I think these are the plum. So gorgeous. I'm hoping to cut some of these here for cut flowers in a couple hours here. It's still cool enough. Oh, look, there's a bee. Hello. Little bee. Oh, happy. So yeah, there's a grasshopper. Not very happy about that. But they're really gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous sunflowers. A lot of them went funky in their shape. Like, they're not round, which is so odd. They just went weird. I'll leave that little bee alone. I have some turnips growing in here. They're doing quite well. And the beets, I haven't really checked them. These sunflowers are pro cut as well, and they're also plump. And they also went weird in shape. Look at that, like it's deformed. So that's kind of strange. My purple onions, they were flattened. I kind of went through and weeded them, tried to fix what I could, and we'll see what we get. I'm noticing some of them are... Oh, hi, Tom Tom. Are you helping? Okay. So we have some really nice corn here starting. It's quite tall, but we have some forming. This is the stuff that I started from seed and transplanted out. So there's quite a bit. Each one's producing two ears of corn. Eyes, ears, whatever the heck they are. And these are the Pro Cut sunflowers that I said I was concerned about because they're not supposed to be bunching, but they're bunching. They are producing multiple stems and they're supposed to be a single stem. So I'm going to cut a bunch of these and take them to my florist and see if she can use them as filler because they're super cute, tiny little, beautiful little sunflowers, such a bright pop of color. And I'll see if she can use these before the grasshoppers destroy them. Just look at how sweet they are. Some of them have double heads. I've never seen that before with Pro Cuts, because Pro Cuts are supposed to be a one-time deal. These are the yellow beans. I just actually harvested all of these yesterday. I got a Ziploc bag full, like a small freezer bag full of yellow beans from just these plants yesterday. It was just amazing. So I love this variety. I can't remember. I just know it's a yellow bush bean. That's what they're called on the pack. But, oh, I can't get over how pretty these guys are. Love them. These are like my favorite so far in the garden. So this trellis is all I have left for cucumbers. These cucumbers, like I transplanted some out. They did great. Then we got the frost. Then I reseeded, and those ones were doing great, but some of them did not come up. So then the ones that were producing, they were starting to produce some, nice growth and starting to push some flowers. They were knocked off, like broke off of the ground in the storm. These actually grew. They germinated. We had some really good soaking rains. They started to germinate right around the time of that storm, and they are just going crazy with growing. I've picked 2 cucumbers off of here yesterday, so I'm very hopeful. I see they're starting to flower. I'm very hopeful because this whole row is supposed to be cucumbers. I was hoping to get enough cucumbers for me to pickle, just personally. This would be, because we have so many market gardens that offer pickling cucumbers that I didn't grow some for sale. So it's just myself that I was going to be canning, but I will be purchasing because I don't think I'm going to get any production. Everything in here is done. Like nothing grew very well. It just didn't do very well at all. The potatoes are doing great. I did harvest some. I robbed some for a potato salad for my mom's birthday. She was really excited. And so yeah, I love this corn. It looks so cool in here. It's starting to feel like a garden space, an abundant garden space. For a little while, it was just so grim, and there's a lot of stuff in here. It doesn't really do it much justice to see it from a video, but there's a lot in here. There's a lot of stuff growing. It's a big area. Some of the peas didn't do very well in the storms, and I've been harvesting. I've been freezing, like blanching and freezing, but I'm noticing like every day there's a few ready, and so I've just been coming out and picking them. Typically I would have a lot more. I missed a couple, but Typically I would have many more rows of peas, but I have lots of peas still from last year, and this was just mostly for fresh eating and such. So yeah, I'm happy with how much we got now that they're starting to produce. But the corn here, it's just starting to get tassels, and so my plan with this corn is not to get full corn cobs so I can process it for the freezer. My intention for this drift here of corn is to pressure can baby corn. I know some people think it's weird, but my family goes through baby corn a lot in stir fries, and so I would like to preserve some and try freeze drying some little baby corns as well. I think it'd be interesting to try it as an experiment. Yeah, these peas are just doing so good. This variety I think is a green arrow. I like it. I don't like the telephone peas. They just don't do well for me here. I weeded this. These onions are doing so sad. Okay, let's find a pumpkin. Here's a pumpkin. Look at that. It's doing all right. It's a fair sized. Considering we had such a bad storm. Oh, here's another one. Nice sized. Yeah, there's a bunch. They're everywhere. So this corn is doing quite well. I did check it and yesterday, and the cobs are quite large and they're full, but they are still just unripe. So I would say we're getting close. Some of these little tassels are starting to dry out. These ones aren't, but some of them over here are. Like they're starting to dry out. And so, yeah, there's quite a few that are a little bit further behind, but all in all, for us personally, we should have enough corn to last us for the whole season, or for the whole year. We don't eat a lot of corn, even though it looks like we do. We don't, but I do. We do like corn on the cob, and then I also really enjoy adding it to casseroles and stuff like that when I cook dinner. So I'm gonna probably try to freeze it, or I will freeze some, and I'm not gonna can, but I will freeze some, and I will try to freeze dry some as well and see how that works out. So all in all, it's gonna rain. All in all, this is the garden for our goals, I guess. So far, we may achieve them to preserve enough food to last us for the year, which is basically what we aim for every year. And I think we will. These beans, though, I don't think they're starting to produce yet. They're just wanting to go crazy. This was not the right trellis for them. But yeah, it's just a work in progress. At least we're getting rain now. And such. So I'm really happy so far with what we have, considering we had such a big storm. And so all we can do is be grateful and carry on. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Well, 6 plants of beans, full shirt.